Maybe. Oh, look at that. And so we begin. We will begin at Torchwood headquarters, where, oh, wait a minute. I think was it just Husakata went out, or did Fitz and Fogwood go out?
All of our combat characters went out.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Everyone was kind of dozing off there at the end. So yes, we started Torchwood headquarters, where we've got Theodora, we've got Barnaby, we've got Mrs. Featherston, we've got a creature convulsing and morphing inside of a cage. It thrashes about quite a bit, much as it can in Barnaby's custom restraint system anyway, this time now working much better than the first unfortunate trial. And after a kind of a disturbingly long time, finally the convulsing stops, and while it is clearly much like the rodent still, this body is still sorting itself out, of course. Excess skin and tissue and whatnot takes some time there. It has reverted to human form, and as it would turn out, Theodora and Barnaby, you two recognize this particular human, or at least what's left of him, current state that he is in. It is the coroner that you met when you went to check out the remains of name. Harold? Too many names in my head at this point. Yes, Harold McNamara, noted adventurer, noted retired adventurer.
Interesting.
Wow. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. Either he's been behind it or
Sucked into it somehow.
I wonder if this is contagious. I kind of look nervously at my hand since I handled some of the samples. I think I was safe.
I realize that you two are more learned than I am, but perhaps you could break this down and tell me what's so surprising about him turning into a man.
Wait, hold on. Because even in London, there are limits to the just scintillating waves of condescension that is pouring on everyone. At some point, everyone just eventually stops. Like, all right.
Not when you wake up someone at midnight to drag them in for this.
Oh, well, at least you got to go to sleep.
Recently, he was in the form of what could be the monster committing a lot of the murders.
Wow.
Go on.
Give him a name real quick here. Here he is.
Well, actually,
Dr. Hill was.
this is the coroner that helped us out with the samples and viewing the remains of McNamara and what was left of him.
He's Dr. Nicholas Maltby.
Nicholas Maltby?
Yes.
I see.
I would be interested to find out exactly how he changed, so to speak.
Yes. That is more in your realm, I believe, Dr. Hill. On the biology is probably beyond me. But
I don't know if it was direct contact, then the rest could have changed too, but that hasn't happened.
no,
Have you
not
had
yet.
direct contact?
Well, I did gather some samples from the wound. I don't believe I made skin contact.
Well, it's no worries. At least his monster will be easy to subdue.
That's so mean.
That will be noted, Mr. James.
Dr. Hale, we're a human
Hezekiah
in
isn't
contact.
actually there. Hezekiah isn't actually there. My
Okay.
I'm sorry.
A human to come into contact with this agent. Approximately how long do you suspect it would take them to begin to change?
Well, considering that I injected into the rat and it was within a couple of hours. If it was direct contact, it probably may take less than that. I don't know. But even then, I don't know if it's actual direct contact with the serum or proteins or whatever it is that they're coming in contact with. So,
Well, assuming the coroner didn't transform into this on his own, that means someone is trying to cover its tracks. Covering their tracks.
yeah. I mean, obviously, who wants to be known for turning people into raving, crazy things?
When will he wake up?
Could be in a couple hours, could be in a day. I don't know. I mean, he's gone through a lot, so he may sleep for a while just to let his body heal for a little bit.
Well, then I shall go make some tea. This appears to be a very long night ahead of us. Come morning, I suggest we talk to his coworkers and see if they noticed anything odd.
We can certainly do that.
I'll work on some kind of canister syringe to administer this antidote in the field. I fear for Mr. James's awkwardness. He might end up injecting himself. Let me create something to be a little safe for him.
Well, it actually would be a little safer for everybody if we were able to
True.
distance. So, you know, that probably would be very helpful.
Get right on that.
In the meantime, I'll start concocting more of the antidote.
So we will smash cut from there. Here's doing weird thing. So I saw myself on TV there. I'm like, why does my hair look like it's curling around like I'm Superman or something? What the hell? So we smash cut from Torchwood headquarters to the field. We're at. I don't remember if we actually gave the bar a name. I didn't know that if we did, but
Goose.
The mounted
the what?
The mounted boar.
Works for me. So yeah, so outside the mounted boar
Fine.
in the down by the wharfs here, there is no dead body. Still a pretty significant amount of blood on the ground. More police officers are kind of
Hanging around being ineffective. Okay.
Well, they're kind of filtering into the area now, because of course it's not one of those things where you can just place a call or anything like that, and get a police presence and whatnot. So you send runners to the precinct and you get them there. So they're showing up and trying to figure out what's going on, trying to get to the bottom of this. What's all this blood here and whatnot.
Actually, yeah.
Well, it's what they do, I suppose. But
I guess. Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
It's actually almost like pathetic for the lack of imagination, really.
It's like what it does there, more or less.
I guess depends on what part of London you're in.
It does. So, Hezekiah I think I just finished questioning the bar.
Yeah, you finished questioning the bars. The barkeep was not terribly helpful, but just kind of mentioned that maybe you're talking about Jessica. She left a couple of hours ago. Whatever.
Okay. Do you know where I can find this Jessica?
kind of looks up and is like, right now, no, probably stays at the flop house up the way. It's where a lot of them stay anyway. You tell her she's working on the side that she still owes me a cut of that.
At this, Hezekiah is actually speechless. So let me see if I get this straight. You don't know anything about a murder that actually did take place outside your doors. You heard nothing, saw nothing, know no one who saw anything or heard anything, not interested in anything about that, given it happened right outside your door, have not actually spoken to anyone or actually gone to inquire about it, given that it happened right outside your door. May have been actually involved someone who worked here with you, and you have no idea about them, not sure of that person's address, not sure of do you know her last name?
He kind of looks annoyed at you. It's like, fine, yes, of course I know her last name, Oswald.
Oh, thank you, Oswald. Well, that was remarkably helpful. Yeah, I'll go ahead and see if I can flag down a random stranger. Maybe they will know something. Thank you so much for your help. He turns around, walks out. Wait, she had coworkers. Who are the other women in here? The women know each other and talk.
Well, there are a number of women floating around in here. Some of them are, toting drinks around. Others are getting friendly with the clientele.
All right. I take the opportunity to let one of them get friendly with me.
So you're getting friendly with you. What are you up to, Lieutenant?
Lieutenant Fogwood.
Fogwood. Oh, it's going to be Fogwell there. Name straight one of these days.
Please. My brain automatically goes to Shagwell.
I'm not Felicity Shagwell.
He rises in a very special role.
On Hezekiah because he's just doing it too American, and he's going to get himself hurt.
I'd like to see them try.
All right, so you're just kind of lurking and keeping an eye on Hezekiah there.
But I'm ordering a drink.
Oh, good, very good.
I'll have a pint, my good sir.
Ah, finally, a paying customer.
I know. They come across the sea and they think they own the place.
Talkative sort, yes.
So,
These pints in front of you.
the last name was Oswald.
Yes.
Does she come here often?
Kind of stops and thinks like, uh, 3, 4 times a week, something like that.
Is there any trouble with her? Well, besides the trouble for tonight.
Kind of stops. Like, not that I know of. Then again, I don't pay much attention. As long as I get my cut, whatever they do is whatever they do.
He really does not pay much attention.
Oh, the English way, my good man.
No, that's fine. Yeah, speaking the manners and whatnot. But no, that's not. I know. They come and go. You know how it is. When did this happen? I demand answers.
well, thank you, my good man. Take a sip of my ale. Just kind of look over at Hezekiah, see what he's going.
All right.
I'll let the accent do all the work for me.
Yes. Contrary to the the bartender, it is kind of whatever. Yeah, your accent is clearly got the attention of a buxom young lass. Can I see your employee file? You got like an address, like her I-9 or something.
All right, so I guess what am I using? Presents?
Well, let's see. What are you looking to do here?
Nice.
So yeah, you're kind of pumping her for information. Yeah, kind of
I'll buy
getting on to do what?
I'll get a pint.
Getting on her good side / sweet talking whatnot. Yeah, that's going to be that is going to be presence and convince.
Presence and cunning? Is that what you said?
Convince.
Sorry. Wishful thinking. It is a day 3. 9. Oh wait.
It's 2d6 plus
2d6 plus those two, right?
yes. So 2d6 plus you got presence 4, convince 3. So let's see. Looks like up here. And you get a +2 bonus for your voice of authority. So that takes a 13 to a 15.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So yes. You lay on the charm, and you've got you've got your new friend kind of eating out of your the palm of your hand, so to speak.
All right.
Her name is Regina, and she's just kind of they provide you a lot, of course. She's sitting in your lap, and she's gonna be friendly, and she's like don't get many Americans, don't get them many like you in here. You're from America, yes, and to hear all about it.
I explained that I simply can't imagine why men from America aren't flocking to this very place to talk with her.
Oh, he said, sure,
so
sweet.
I asked, I tell her legitimately, I'm like, actually, I need a little assistance. Would be so kind.
Yeah.
And an observant woman such as yourself, I'm sure would be able to properly help me. I'm trying to find out information about the murder that took place outside earlier today.
She kind of looks around, like, kind of almost making sure that, like, one of the things, like, making sure that people aren't listening, kind of looking around, like, Sam the barkeep don't want us talking about that much. Says none of our business.
Oh, so he knows about it, does he?
Well, it happened right outside. Sam's usually pretty well in the know. I mean, but Sam's businessman. Murder bad for business. So.
Shut up! I got game.
The player hit the game.
So, well, pray tell, what did you notice?
Well, we were. I was in here, working, like we do, and we were there. There's a guy in here. I don't know. He took a liking to him. Took a liking to Jess right off the bat. And, they got cozy and whatnot. And, kind of a handsome, rugged, fellow there. A wee bit jealous. Not everyone that comes in here and is surprised. Making sure it's not insulting the clientele and whatnot. And so they got friendly, and rather than going upstairs, decided to leave, even though Sam don't like that much, but. Kind of allows it as long as we make sure that he still gets his share. Then right after that, heard her screaming up a storm out there, and kind of roar and a growl. And, I went to the window and looked, and she was staring in horror. And
did you happen to get the name of her admirer?
Let's see. Read my notes here. I think he said his his name was Harmon. Had a bit of an accent. I think he was Irish.
That explains it.
I don't even know what that means. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and she was kind of screaming, and I was just all I saw was this guy that she was with, like, from behind, being held up in the air, just like an arm, it's kind of around the corner a little bit. Glad I couldn't see it.
I see. All right. Wow, that must have been terrible for you.
kind of hard to go back to work after that, but I'm strict like that.
I'm sure he is. Thank you. You've been very, very helpful. And I gone ahead and I slip her was it a crown? Crown is a lot of money. All right, I give her one. And tell him you got.
Just has a place at there's a house up the way a bit. Doesn't mind working girls, doing their business there. When she wasn't working here, that's where she worked out of. And if you're looking for her, I don't know where she went.
Thank you very much. All right, I have to go. So I turn around and I stop at the bar.
Fogwell's there nursing an ale.
Like
Fogwood. Sorry, I still called you Fogwell. Nothing like that.
It's Shagwell. Lieutenant Fogwood.
Yes.
So, witnessed this whole spectacle, did you?
Oh, yes, I did.
Let me guess. Mrs. Featherson sent you. Or did you come with me originally? I can't remember.
I did. I didn't come originally, but I think I voluntarily left.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be around when she discovers we drank her scotch.
Yeah. Like, well, look at that. Sounds like that whole dead body thing was the place to be real quick.
The fact that I am out at well past anything like a normal hour, even for those who are engaged, who are wanting to engage in sin and debauchery as a direct result of a tongue lashing by her, I feel no remorse about drinking her scotch at all. Sometimes you need a little revenge. Did you get this gentleman's name?
Oh, the bartender.
Yes, and he is in fact standing right there. I know that.
Yeah, he's kind of, not. It's one of those things where like he's helping people, but he's also like clearly he's like paying attention to what you two are talking about because you need to cause some trouble for him. What was that?
2 more here, my good man.
Kind of nods and
we don't
2 more.
We really don't have time. We have to go.
Yeah, but there's always time for ale and tea.
We actually have to go because I don't know exactly where Ms. Oswald is, and I have a name of someone, and she may know his last name. And we have to go with a local. Excuse me. What was your name again?
Sam.
Sam, the unnoticing. Sam, could you tell me where the nearest morgue is?
What's a morgue?
kind of looks at you and say, I don't know, he's a bartender. Bartenders know a lot of things.
You know,
like, kind of looks like, you are an odd fellow, but moves you along fine. Yeah, there's one up at the I think the Port Authority doesn't exist yet. Yeah, there's the local police headquarters up the way there.
Not that I noticed.
No. We're gonna call it a hospital. Yeah, it's a hospital up the way. Police like to put the bodies there and stuff. Local precinct ain't big enough for them.
I see.
Yeah.
They take the dead bodies to the prison.
No, hospital. The local precinct, the precinct doesn't have that kind of stuff there. Yeah.
Okay, so that
You
doesn't.
know, I mean, you know, it's a rough area. People get hurt. People get killed.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah.
It's okay if I call you Sam. Sam,
Same.
I cannot help but to feel that you were misleading me earlier when you told me you knew nothing.
Oh, well, I'm hurt by your accusations.
No, Sam, you misunderstand. I am, in addition to being an odd fellow, quite capable of making your life exceedingly difficult. I don't care about the business that you run. I don't. However, if I ask you simple questions that are in the public good, which I have, and you claim ignorance, and I find out otherwise, the next time I will bring the full weight of the office that I occupy to bear. Am I clear, Sam?
He kind of just is kind of weird. Like, Americans think you just come in here and tell us how to do things. What office could you possibly have?
Sam, I'm hair's breadth away from you, yanking you over the bar. Just trust me on this matter. Let it go. Next time, when it benefits you, answer the question. With that, I leave. Good grief.
And as I'm finishing up the last ale, he is appointed by the Queen and walk out.
This guy got this kind of weird look on his face, like, hell, these drunk assholes who just came in here. American appointed by the Queen? Never.
Never. I'd be like him being appointed to the Queen by the Queen. Never.
Like, right. And I'm Prince Alfred.
That's okay. We'll be back. It's a house of ill repute. There's got to be lots of reasons why we'd have to go back there. So, all right. Lieutenant Fogwood, we're making a quick trip down to this housing block right here. Actually, perhaps you should do the questioning. I seem to make people angry.
Very good. This housing block doesn't look too safe.
No, I don't imagine it is. Her name is Jessica Oswald. Jessica Oswald. And we're checking to see if she's here. I'm thinking she witnessed the murder firsthand.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
That's her name in the Torchwood porn parody.
Okay.
You guys have got to get more educated on Victorian horrors. I'm just saying. Swell's Guide is a real thing.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, they had guidebooks for prostitutes.
Yeah.
London was classy.
Well, I mean, it depends on the type of staff, but it is true. I did hear something about that.
Did you have like 3 to 5? I don't know.
Like, like Michelin's Guide to, women, to working women? I think
but with whores.
Because they didn't get like ratings and whatnot.
Yeah. Good reputations and shit.
Yes. So there you are, Michelin Guide.
Kind of an early yelp.
Yeah.
Flat was reasonably clean.
I don't think that was the flat they were worried about.
did not get crabs.
It's like, wait, no, wait.
Totally
no, this is an upscale. This is an upscale thing, though. So it's curtains were matching appropriately. The lawn was mowed. The gardens were well kept. This is terrible. We must get off this line of thinking.
Yeah. Back to my.
Nowhere good.
I
am educating you. Okay.
Yes, you are.
I did not go mad with the syphilis. All right. So you guys go down the block to this flop house, and it is, we're on the other side of midnight, so it's not like it's still as popular as it might be earlier in the evening, but there's still activity. Clearly, you're in the red light district there.
Oh, but at this point, we look like customers.
Yeah, you kind of, it's this late, but not everyone goes to bed early. So yeah, as you guys kind of walk up there, you are definitely getting propositions.
A menu. They had a menu.
What?
Pink fingers and jerky off mayonnaise.
Yeah, while sucking.
Must stay out of the poop hole.
Made to rub your hard on God. It's good to know that the word hard on is actually for hundreds of years.
I love that one of them has a age over 45. I guess it's a.
Are a few specialties of French fashion with fingering asshole, common old-fashioned diddling on the edge of the bed with one foot on the floor. Oh my God. That's awesome.
I'm really here to help you guys.
We appreciate your efforts there.
I like your historical references.
What actually is kind of hysterical is that given that we're all Y, most of us are Y chromosome bearing individuals, and given apparently our lack of imagination.
What exactly does it mean, French fashion?
Would you like to Google it?
Why is that so much more expensive?
Proper London women didn't do this, so. Pinky special on top. And
if you're not a self-starter, stay at home and jack yourself off.
Ready to play with your balls while blowing wind up your. I can't even read that last part, but that's very, very curious.
I like the disclaimer at the end on the right side. No discount for cash. Stick fingers.
And jack off matinees for young men under 21 every Wednesday from 2:30 to 4. Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, so pulling us back on track. Everything is possible.
And that was recorded for posterity.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everyone.
The moment we read brought the menus from the early 1900s.
This is why you don't invite indie players to traditional groups. I'm just saying.
Yes. You guys are being propositioned because, I mean, you're both very classy gentlemen, so clearly you have money. As you approach the house here.
We are actually looking for Jessica. Oswald.
So like one of them just kind of rolls around like, what makes her so popular tonight?
What? I'm sorry. What? Say that again. Someone else was asking about her today?
Yeah, someone else was all hot to trot looking for Jessica, like half hour ago, something like that. No, call it like 45 minutes ago.
Oh, and is Jessica here?
I haven't seen her leave. Imagine she might still be up with whoever was looking for her.
Could you direct us to her quarters, please?
It's kind of like, I don't know if she's, well, I guess if you want to wait, but fine. So, kind of points like, yeah, she's up on the second floor in room 7. But I mean, we're available now. You don't have to wait. I mean, it's just. I mean, we're experienced. It's not like Jessica's got,
Yeah, I think I would just take off running the moment I find out where she is. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Hezekiah bolts. Fogwood.
I thank you, my good ladies. I will, of course, compensate you for your time, and I flip them a coin.
Okay, well,
probably
I don't think she's into 2 at once. It's going to be extra.
Sure, you have to pay extra for that action, Cotton.
All right, so yeah, it doesn't take you much to run up there. I mean, it's not that far. Building codes aren't what they are, so there's a lot of creaking and whatnot. But
I stay off the keyboard.
Keyboard cat reborn. There is no answer. You do hear. Yeah, I'd be pretty. There is definite sense of activity inside there. Lots of activity. Not like actual having sex activity that you can hear. That's more moaning. This is more.
Is it the sexual congress activity?
It's not sexual congress activity. That you can hear. We got squeaking of beds, moaning, and
All right.
Heavy breathing and stuff. This is like things, like drawers being opened, things being moved about, whatnot.
All right, I open the door and walk in.
I'm pulling out my rifle.
The door is locked.
I kick it in.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for that because even beat up, you're strong, and it's like I said, this building isn't exactly like Fort Knox. I mean, it's kind of surprised this building hasn't fallen down of its own accord, more or less.
Yeah, very much.
So you kick this door in. It's very action stuff. Fogwood is behind you with his rifle. Fogwood is behind you, is backing your player with your rifle. The door, of course, flies open because you are strong and it is not. And God, that'd be awesome.
Yes, that would be awesome. Like, oops.
The door doesn't budge.
The door is fine.
How is it even possible? What's going on?
The house fails its saving throw.
The door, however, makes it saving throw.
Saving throws and collapse. The door dodges. I don't even know how that's possible. You missed the door, kicked a load-bearing wall, and now we all have to make a saving throw versus being crushed. Thanks, guy.
Safe doorway.
The doorway is a mimic. You've both been eaten. So you kick the door open, flies open dramatically because drama, and there is so it's kind of essentially, it's not much to this room. You've got basically like a true room kind of a thing. You've got, your living room / kitchen / dining room, multi-purpose room. And then kind of to your right, there is a doorway that is open that leads to the bedroom where the magic happens. From that door is ajar, and you can see there's a
Sweet. No, they just got a room.
so there's someone in there who kind of reacts at the start when the door kicks open. The activity in there kind of picks up and intensifies.
All right. Do I see anybody in this area?
In the room you're in, no, and you don't know what the general state of this place is usually, but it definitely looks like someone's been rifling through this place.
All right.
Something's happening in a hurry.
All right. I pull the guns and I go towards the other doorway and I do just a quick peek through.
Right, so you guys go in there. There is a woman in there who seems to be rapidly gathering possessions and kind of, it's one of those quick cramming them into a bag kind of a thing.
All right. Is there anyone else there?
Not that you can see, no.
All right. I step into the room.
So,
Jessica Oswald.
she looks terrified.
Oh, wait. I realize I'm holding guns. I look around.
Well, it's just, you're holding guns. Hogwarts behind you with a rifle. You kick her torso. She's reacting accordingly.
I holster the weapons. Miss Oswald, we're actually not here to do you.
No.
I turn to the English. Just you. My apologies. I don't know what I was thinking. You go first, please.
Just let me go. I won't say anything. Just let me go. I was leaving. I was honestly leaving.
No. We're not here to hurt you, love.
No. I'm sorry. I know I said I'd leave, but I just had to grab a few things. Come on.
No. It's fine. Who wanted you to leave?
I feel like we need a roll here. Give me presence and convince there, Amat.
Okay. If I spend a story point, I get to add another dice?
Actually, the first story point gets you 2 dice.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
So it'd be 46 plus 4 for your presence and convince there.
All right.
20.
11, 13, 14 on the roll.
Plus 4 gives you 18.
18. If I roll ones, does it make any difference?
The only big difference if you roll double ones and you're rolling just 2 dice, then it's a botch.
Okay,
Much like in the so if you roll 4 dice, you have to get ones on all of them, and that would just be very unlucky at that point. Then you get punched into the side of a cage, like Barnaby did.
Huh.
So you are reassuring, and she kind of relaxes. Like, so you're not here to kill me?
No. We're I just want to ask you a few questions, miss.
Okay. Not supposed to, I figure, I think I know what you're going to ask me about. I'm not supposed to talk about that.
You're not supposed to talk about it?
No, that's why I have to go. He said I would be killed if I did, and if I stuck around.
Do you have anywhere to go to?
Not really, no.
I look at Hezekiah. We need to take her back to Torchwood.
Okay. Oh my God. Let's do it like that. Yes, she will. She'll love it. And hey, it was a citizen of the empire that actually made that decision. So, you know.
So she kind of like, what? She points to you and said, I saw you earlier. You went after the thing.
I did. You're welcome. Come with us.
Come with us.
Did it escape?
No. I went after.
How are you still alive?
I kind of lean over at Torchwood.
We should go. Obviously, you are in danger here.
Oh, yeah. No, okay.
All right. So, are you ready?
Yes. Yeah. Let's go.
All
I
right.
can't stay here.
And we're going to take our guns out, but that's a precaution.
They're for your protection.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you guys heading back to Torchwood?
Yes, we are.
No.
I don't
So,
suppose we can hail a carriage right now.
I'm sure we can work that out. So you guys don't have to walk all the way back. Yeah. You're ready to believe you. So you guys will work your way back to Torchwood. We were smash cutting back to Torchwood.
Wait, say that again. What? No, what? No, what?
Oh, you guys are making your way back to Torchwood via carriage.
Yeah. It goes off without a hitch, right? Yes.
Well, I think so. We'll smash cut from your carriage ride back to Torchwood itself.
Okay.
We shall see later.
Later on.
Where tea has been made.
We can't stop the tea. An argument ensues.
Tea has been made. The patient is resting about as comfortably as one could.
So Mrs. Featherston will bring the tea back into the lab. And by she bring it in, I mean a servant made it and she told them to bring it in. Clarification.
It's a very important
Do you actually follow and see, I brought you tea?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. I'm not going to let the servant take credit for this.
You had the idea. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
One day those servants will rise up.
Which is to say, they'll go from being downstairs to upstairs.
Right.
So
And then people will know the score.
We have elevated the station
like
of our.
a twisted British version of the Jeffersons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on up.
We're moving up to the upstairs.
Life is good.
Instead of having an Englishman living in their apartment building, or something.
Yeah, no, it's really, yeah. Let's not follow that. It'll take us down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Down the rabbit hole. All right. So, yes, the servant has brought in tea.
Yes. So put it there, Mary. Thank you.
Of course, nods. Yes, ma'am.
She helps herself to the tea. She doesn't make the servant actually pour the tea for her.
Oh, how gracious.
So you know. And then she sits down in a chair primly. Would either of you like tea?
I look up from my contraption I'm making. Oh, what? A tea? Oh. Yeah, sure.
Dr.
And-
Hale.
Yes, please.
You realize that tea will grow ice cold if you don't walk there. So
I know it's like for a moment I'm probably there for a while waiting and then realize, oh, okay. And I go, I've offered it to you. That's
it's merely
part
offered, but that's the end of the largesse.
you're allowed to take it.
Have either of you had any sleep?
A little bit.
What day is it?
Wednesday.
Not.
Already? Well, I was unconscious about an hour ago,
This is not kind of sleep.
being thrown into the wall.
And how long were you unconscious for, Dr. Cornwallis?
I'll look at Dr. Hale. How long was it?
A couple hours.
Oh
Okay, yeah.
my gosh.
You were unconscious for a couple of hours?
Yeah. I mean, the creature threw me across the room, so.
How long was this thing here before I got here?
You were so welcome to all of that. All of it.
I'm gonna let you guys make up. I'm gonna let you guys make up.
I don't know, the others
Plug in
were in
an
the
hour
other.
there.
Dr. Hale and I were in here. The others were in the other room drinking some scotch, so they were relaxing. I don't remember how long.
You asshole.
Remember that note about me remembering?
Sounds like your relaxing carriage ride just got interrupted by that bus hitting it. Like, buses haven't even been invented yet. An anomaly opens and like a bus just comes out and waylays you. That's all there is to it.
It's Torchwood, you know.
It's like reverse primeval, except instead of dinosaurs from the past, it's buses from the future.
It's fine. I want to finish the weapon to use with the antidote.
And how long will that take?
I think I'm fairly close to putting something together. I'm trying to put a handheld, like a pistol of sorts.
You have
And then a
20
rifle.
minutes. Then I expect you upstairs in bed.
Yes, ma'am. And I kind of like down the tea.
Dr. Hale, that goes for you as well.
Feel it scald all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
No less than you deserve, traitor.
Hey, we're actually being treated with respect here. We're being sent to bed to get sleep and taken care of.
With respect. I'm being treated like an American.
We'll see when she finds out you drink her scotch. We'll see.
Whatever. When she finds out, you mean when she actually confronts me with the fact that you told me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing.
Wait till I find out about that. I'm gonna give you the biggest damn wedgie.
Oh my God. Boys, do not make me pull this Torchwood over.
Right.
Loving the teamwork. Yay, team, everyone. Bring it in here real quick. Oh, team.
Hey, we're number 1.
Okay. Do I need to make a roll for this weapon, or did you just assume I can modify a pistol and/or rifle to shoot hypodermics?
You know,
I'm basically building a tranquilizer gun.
You're building a tranquilizer gun. I think that's going to be it's going to be pretty straightforward in terms of building it. I think the only thing that I need to roll for, are you trying to get it finished before your bedtime?
Yes.
No.
Well, then if there's a speed element, then yeah, we should probably give it a roll just to see if you can get that in time there. I mean,
Come on, don't you have something with tiny Tesla coils and plasma series? Come on, work a little harder, man.
all right, so yeah, you're gonna be ingenuity and technology with your gadgetry bonus.
Okay. And I am spending a story point just because I want these to work. I want to do the rifle and for the lieutenant and a pistol for, I guess, Hezekiah.
I guess.
Maybe that'll make it less. Oh, lost that dice.
It goes forever.
Well.
William's got so many dice, he just drops one. Oh, okay.
Whatever. Next dice up.
He has kids to pick those up for him.
Kids, another dice fall on the ground. You can have it.
They all come in. No, it's mine. It's mine.
You also get a +2 bonus for your technically adapt, because that does apply to gadget creating, jiggery pokery, and can be combined with the boffin trait.
Oh, so it's 14 plus my dice roll. Okay.
Yeah.
29.
Holy crap!
So yeah,
This is where I excel.
You buckle it down there, and with some you do it with style, and well, there's much style and panache as Barnaby is capable of, I suppose. Let you fill that in, but yeah, 20 minutes, and
I'm running the risk of not being able to finish this before I'm sent to bed. That's kind of.
So if we find what gets Barnaby some juices flowing here apparently, and yeah. So
Okay.
Yeah, you've got working dart guns there.
All right. I guess Miss Featherstone, if you don't mind, letting the lieutenant and Hezekiah know that I completed a weapon for them. They probably they may need me to show them how to use it, but I am off to rest. Kind of head down, kind of shuffles off.
Embarrassed. Go sleep.
Dr. Hale?
Oh, Mom.
Make sure he actually gets into bed.
Can someone bring my glass of water?
Read me a story, Mrs.
Seven.
Yeah.
I have to pee again.
Go to sleep.
I'm not sleepy.
She just shows up with your trank gun. Let's test it. Clunk.
Where's Gary?
He's out.
Excellent.
I'm not sleepy.
4 days later, well, looks like you need to work on the dosage there, Barnaby.
I told you should have went with Tesla coils.
Definitely some Tesla coils.
Oh, man.
So, Dr. Hale and Dr. Cornwallis were ordered to bed by Mrs. Featherston.
Oh, somebody's got to run a tight ship.
She's gonna. I think her next job after Torchwood is running an orphanage.
There will be no seconds there.
If you don't eat your meat.
Right.
She's been training to actually deny porridge to poor little waifs for years.
I'm on an elite level. You just don't understand.
If they wanted porridge, they should have been orphaned.
Exactly.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I feel a little. Yep, that was a little dark right there. It's a tiny bit dark.
Head back towards the light here, I suppose. So, Miss Featherston, your staff has gone to bed as ordered. Is there anything you want to do now that you kind of have the run of the place yourself, or?
I'll tell the servants that they can go to bed as well. I will wake them if I need anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
I put down what you guys are like a nod, yes. Of course, ma'am.
They bow and scrape as they back out of the room.
Pretty much. Yeah.
They're getting like a full 3 hours of sleep. I am a good mistress, okay?
That's right. All right, you only have a 21-hour workday.
Exactly.
It's the Muppet movie when Steve Martin was the waiter. Oh.
Yes. And then she's going to make herself comfortable downstairs where she can watch the coroner sleep off his Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and enjoy some tea and read the paper.
Oh, she's going to be totally awake in right there when we walk in.
Well, down in the lab, we don't keep prisoners inside the front door. That's rude.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is going to go down so well.
Yeah, so I mean, some time passes. You read the evening paper. Meanwhile, yes, aside from a freak bus attack, your carriage ride at the Torchwood goes fine.
All right.
Jess was certainly very nervous. She's more comfortable the further away she gets from the flop house, and kind of putting some distance between that seems to kind of relax her a little bit. She's definitely a bit jumpy. She's definitely scared, but feeling better being with a couple of armed people, especially one who apparently went after the monster and survived.
I don't bother telling her it was more of a gang up and beat it into submission. There was no finesse about it at all. I'm not going to tell her that. There's no need. Well, once we get back to Torchwood, I open the door. We usher her in.
She's kind of looking like, this is a right fancy place. What, an observatory? You guys, is this where you guys work?
Sometimes.
Yes. It serves our purpose.
Oh, well, okay.
So here, let's get you settled. I believe we have a spare room here. But you're accustomed to keeping later hours.
It's been kind of a day. I could definitely use some sleep.
All right, well, let's get you set up. All right, I start making way towards, because at this point we can tell the house is asleep.
Pretty much, yeah. You guys haven't seen the servants or anything like that, and a couple of the of course the servant quarters are elsewhere, but
right.
Yeah, you get to the guest rooms upstairs, and a couple of them are shut and clearly occupied.
Right. So I go in and direct her to one of the guest quarters. Yeah, I'm wondering that is she?
You can't read in the dark, you guys.
No, but
it's a different area.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
in a
that's
different
right.
area.
She's
You guys are kind of. She's down in the lab. Well, that means you guys would. I mean, coming in, you guys could probably tell that there are lights on in the lab, but
Yeah,
unless Mrs. Featherston is like reading out loud, you're not going to know who's in there.
right. And the last time I was in the lab, there was a full-on, completely monstered up dude in there. The last thing I'm gonna do is have her see that.
Exactly. So yeah, so I mean, you know, there are lights on, and you know the place is quiet. So I mean, Mrs. Featherston, you could probably hear sounds of activity and stuff in other parts of the building there, but.
All right. So yeah, I go ahead. I get her, kind of settled. Okay, well, here's the room. If you, I'm afraid the staff is asleep at this point, but if you really need something, I can get you something from the kitchen.
No, I think it's just rest. I'm safe here, right?
Yes, you are.
Well, yeah, I don't need staff or anything. I just, no, that's probably the nicest bed I've seen in a while.
Well, we'll take your rest. Is everything a double entendre in my head? I don't know, but like, well, take your rest, and we will talk in the morning. How nice. We'll just have all this burned. And I was literally thinking something along those lines, like, crap, they're gonna actually burn every scrap of linen in this place after she leaves.
That's right. Everything she touched is taken right outside into the courtyard and set it on fire. Thank you.
So with that, I head down.
These pesky regulations back then. We can just burn anything we want.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, just burn all the furnishings. We'll start over. Has Lieutenant Foglet already made his way to the lab, or?
Yes, I would head down to the lab to see if anything has developed.
Yeah.
All right, well, down in the lab, you find Mrs. Featherston, and wherever she is and whatever she's still doing. You see on one of the workbenches that Barnaby is known to use, there are a pair of impressive looking weapons. One is a rifle, one is a pistol. Clearly not your standard revolver and rifle, though. They've been heavily modified to do something.
Yeah, pretty much. Jane Austen's Torchwood.
In the cage where the creature was when you left, it's clearly a man. You guys didn't meet the corner, so you don't recognize him as such. Body's still, of course, in flux, so he's got a lot of he's still got a lot of excess tissue that is snapping. That's gradually snapping back into place, but he's clearly not the monster that he was when you left. He is unconscious, still wearing Barnaby's adjustable restraint system.
Looks like he's gotten better.
As it turns out, he is the coroner that dealt with the last body.
Oh, good evening. Good morning, Miss Featherstone, Mrs. Featherstone.
Good morning, Lieutenant. If lost bodies can cause this sort of transition, we are fortunate you were able to obtain the last one.
Right? I'm like, we didn't get any last body. We haven't found that body yet.
Awkward.
The last victim that this individual murdered?
Yes, we're investigating that. We have a witness. resting comfortably in the premises right now.
Both eyebrows go up slightly. And the body is...
I'm so glad I let you go first. So glad.
You got this right, Lieutenant. Good job. Good man. Good man. Good man. Good man. Good man. Good man.
Yet.
Now that is interesting. Did the witness do something to the body?
The witness saw what happened.
To the body?
Well, I would suppose, yes, if she witnessed the crime.
But we got a witness.
Did you ask her what happened to the body?
I presume, here, Bryce, I presume that on the ride, we actually asked
yes.
questions.
Yes, I would assume that question would have come up on the ride there. It was just like,
It's
so,
not a ride.
you lived in London long, huh? Yeah, it's been over years.
Lovely night.
That Sam sure is an asshole, right? Yeah, it's a good weather, huh? You know, if you're going to witness a murder, you might as well witness on a murder like tonight, not like when it's cold and rainy or something, right? Huh? Yeah. Well, anyway, this is the observatory. This is where we work. We got a room for you and stuff. So, yeah, we could change it. I would assume there would have been some preliminary interrogation.
Well, no, I think we established the body was actually at the morgue at the hospital.
Yes.
No, we established the morgue at the hospital. You don't know what's there.
Right, exactly. We were told that there's a morgue at the hospital. We haven't actually had a chance to check that.
So the answer you get from the witness is that she was there, and not long after you and Fitz went after the monster. A pair of police officers showed up. Basically, told her that they would take care of this. There's nothing to worry about.
That's hilarious. They didn't go after the sounds of obvious fighting and scuffling and yelps of pain. No.
No.
They got
No.
money. It took that noise that you just heard. Our heating and air conditioning system is in a small cubicle closet thing that's essentially between the living room and the closet, so that when it kicks on, it sounds like a hairdryer is running into the living room, which is where Andrea is currently operating from. Oh, that must be frustrating.
It is. You got because there's like so the way the room is set up, so you've got like living room, and then there's like a little connecting hallway and kitchen dining room. Well, this little connecting hallway and this kind of space between the two rooms, there is a closet there, which is where the heater and stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got like the big vent where like the heater, like the air filter and stuff is. That's on the wall that faces the living room, so that when it kicks in, all the noise from this unit is directed into the living room.
Yeah.
So that you've got to mute. I mean, you've got to like basically when the heat of the air conditioning comes on, you've got to basically stop what you're doing. If you're watching a show and you want to actually hear the dialogue, you pretty much have to stop it and wait and just kind of wait it out.
Oh, it's so sad.
So yeah, it's a nice apartment. That's one unfortunate design flaw about this place is that yeah.
Well, that's totally Minnesotan. Good heat there, yeah.
and I don't know of all the apartments here, because it's kind of like this. It's not like an apartment like complex. Basically, it's like a very long house that's been kind of cut up into apartments.
No.
And
so
like
Viking house is what you're saying.
Pretty much, it's like a long rectangle. It's got kind of a little bit of a slope to it. So you've got, and we're apartment C, so like apartment A and B are like the first two apartments, and they've got and they've got their top floor and their basement is connected, and like they've got room outside their apartments where like their air conditioning unit can be and whatnot. E and F are actually a level below us, and they've got room where their air conditioning units can be outside. But us and the apartment next door, D, don't. We're kind of elevated, so our basements are detached because they're actually below the apartments below us, and we don't have any place for the air conditioning unit to be. So I don't know if it's just a consequence of the design of the building or what.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a nice place, but yeah, that's one unfortunate drawback there. So yeah, that wine powering up there was not a truck driving through our house. It was just the heater kicking in.
Okay. That's
so yes. The answer to that is like a pair of police officers showed up. Said they would handle everything, not to worry about it. Didn't seem interested in, did seem very interested in the fact that two people had gone running after the monster. Wanted to know about had some questions about that, most assuredly. Then told her a couple of very important things. Told her that they would take care of the body, not to worry about it. Told her that she should not speak of this to anyone, and that if she did speak to anyone of this, and if she did not leave essentially leave the city immediately, she would be killed.
I tell Mrs. Featherstone that.
there.
What is it?
Yeah.
I don't suppose she got names or badge numbers.
Well, she hasn't told us yet. She's very scared, of course. And we brought her back here and she's getting some rest now. Hezekiah is attending to her.
She did tell. We did get the name. We confirmed the name. Harmon.
Yes.
Did she happen to know her last name?
Yeah. Look at my notes here.
So I retconned that and we did get a name of Harmon.
Let's see, the victim's name, Harmon McLaughlin.
Harmon McLaughlin.
And if you asked him what police officers did it, they were their last names were Jackson and Alexander.
Retcon my speech to include that.
Retcon the speech.
What were they? Alexander and
Jackson and Alexander.
of notes. Let's see.
Weren't those the two constables that we found as
That's-
bodies?
Yep.
No, we didn't find their bodies.
They went undercover and disappeared.
Disappeared.
They-
Okay.
They disappeared during the police's sting operation.
Okay. They were assumed victims in my notes. Okay, because we weren't sure.
Assumed victims.
Fascinating.
Hmm.
Was she hurt?
What was it, Andrea?
Was she hurt?
She did not look hurt. She is very shooken up, though. They did tell her she could not tell anybody and leave.
Interesting. Well, the tea is likely cold, but you are welcome to help yourself if you like some.
I talked to that bloody scientist and invent something to heat up tea.
Then what would we have servants for?
Oh, hadn't considered that.
Oh, yes.
Unemploy the you make the servants unemployable. Don't do that.
I come walking in at this point. I look over towards the cage. Huh. He's smaller.
He is the coroner that handled the previous victim.
Well, that's a pattern. Mrs. Featherston. Good morning.
Good morning. Lieutenant Fogwood has briefed me on your findings for this evening.
Very good.
Yes.
I was going to say she is installed in one of the guest quarters upstairs.
We'll have to see to her in the morning.
She is extremely frightened. The whole death threat and whatnot.
Well, that would certainly do it on an impression to the young woman.
I don't know how young she is, or terribly impressionable, really. As I think about it. Never mind. Working woman, as it were.
Really?
Anyway, have they been able to figure out why did he change?
We haven't progressed that far. I sent Doctors Hale and Cornwallis to bed, which is where both of you will also be going.
I'm being sent to bed.
That's not a vent.
Have either of you had any sleep tonight?
No.
And how much have both of you imbibed?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's like the snifter. Why? But I can't say that. Of course, at this point, it's worn off. Hold on one moment. I have to take this. I'm sorry.
Seems like American to have its own theme music.
Very American.
It plays every. It's like, why do you get that music to play every time? Why do you have this?
It's
like,
good thinking music, though. Like when they do.
True.
It's very similar to that.
Like,
He's trying to come up with his answer, his excuse.
He's being constantly stalked by the final round of a game show.
An orchestra follow him.
Just goddamn it, no! Final Jeopardy is constantly following me around.
I had to turn my phone ringer off when I went into work, so I had my purse hanging up on the back of my cube, and my boss sits at the cube right across from me. Vincent Price laughing in my purse. I'm like, what the hell? My boss is like, who's laughing?
Who?
Like I forgot to turn my phone off, sorry. Good thing it wasn't a screen.
Right.
You're half the call center.
Having binge watched Primeval now, I can just say that James Lester is my spirit animal.
He is pretty great.
He is fantastic.
We literally had to pause Primeval when the air kicked on if James Lester was on the screen, and only if James Lester was on the screen.
Yeah, because the rest of that show you don't really need the dialogue for because it's ridiculous and kind of poorly written. But James Lester's like, no, I need my James Lester. I need my Lester. Just saying that needs to happen for me real quick here.
How is he going to react to his team managing to fail to catch a raptor?
He's annoyed. He's got one reaction: annoyance.
Have one of those many faces, and it's all the same expression.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He's annoyed that you saved the world. Annoyed that you had to save the world.
Annoyed that you took so long to do it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. He is amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yep. I had to make sure Bryce knew what I was doing with this character.
It's important. It's very important.
What is going on your t-shirt, Will?
Let's see. Dragon?
It's like the D&D ampersand, but it's a bunch of different icons.
Oh, okay.
You got a dragon, you've got different monsters, creatures, and
The
beholders.
beholder down there,
What's happening on
skeleton.
top?
Which is that? Well, you got your venturing party. You got like your archer, and then your wizard, and I think the fighter and the cleric.
Oh, okay.
So
I
your
see.
venture party here, and then it just works.
It's not really well defined. It looks like two people like swinging at each other.
Well, yeah.
A typical party, fighting
Kind
each
of.
other, trying to get
Yeah, you know, so you can take it that way. Fight the monsters or themselves, you know.
So does anyone actually have a D&D game?
We had one.
Well, game is probably a generous term
It
for what
was
we
a
what we had.
game. It was a game to us.
I have two.
I'm just trying to say, it's like we've done every game except like the original.
Nice.
I got a little bit Mrs. Featherston on the group accidentally because I was there basically just to hang out and to really soak up how ridiculous these people are. And they were like, "You should buy spell cards." I'm like, "Why would I buy the spell cards? If I'm going to invest money in in this stupid game, I'd buy the book." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
Awkward. Well,
And you can get it online and for free.
It was an in-person game at a game store, and the group was populated with RPG stereotypes, which was pretty impressive. Which is pretty impressive. But the guy who was running it was a guy named Nick, whom was bizarre in terms of his game mastering style.
To be fair, Bryce, I don't think you and Andrew were playing the game. You were commenting.
Oh, I played.
On the game.
Every time I role played, everyone would stop down and look at me in absolute confusion.
Trying to actually role play confused the people. So we were most definitely there to riff it live. Essentially, every game session was a riff tracks live of D&D starring Andrea and Bryce. But it was made all the more impressive by the fact, though, it was a bizarre campaign that made no sense, that he claimed to be riding, but was really just kind of poorly pulling out of his ass as he went along. Then decided he wanted to teleport us all into a module, the Storm King's Thunder, which would have been great, except for he never actually read the book. So, like, he'd pull out the book and would be, like, you know, telling us what's going on, but it was very clear that in addition to us, this being the first time we'd heard these words, it was the first time he had read those words.
Yep.
And until that finally just kind of crashed and burned, and at one point he was there just kind of reading things, and then he clearly got off onto things that were like notes for the GM only, and like one of the players who actually runs D&D a lot kind of looks at him and kind of puts his hand on his arm and kind of really, you know, amazingly kind of simply goes, "I think that part's just for you."
It's amazing.
And then, like, the last session we actually went to was so nonsensical, and he was just all over the place, and it was just, the game went from being fun to make fun of just being tragically sad train wreck, where like we were there for like 2 hours and like maybe like 3 minutes of actual gameplay happened.
It was bad.
Because he's reading and like just things were happening and he's narrating and then he's like, "Well, why are we in chapter 3? Why is it taking you there?" And we're like, "Dude, why would we know? Why don't you know where we're in chapter 3?" And to the point where kind of sending guys just like, "Look, let me make a recommendation for you. I recommend that you read the book."
Yeah. Or make notes on your own original.
Something. So yeah, that was he canceled like the next 2 sessions, and then we're just like, yeah, no, we're done.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm attempting to get into a Star Wars full-playing group at this game store.
Nice.
And yeah, it's not as bad as you described, but it's like I find myself, it's like I can't goof around like I do on Friday nights.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I was lucky, right? Because I'm like, I am here for one reason. That's not to become involved in any of your lives. I don't like any of you. I'm just going to sit back and be a complete bitch. And I did. Apparently, the other girls at the gaming store are afraid of me. I don't know why.
Wait a minute. You said other girls?
Yeah.
I thought she misspoke there, so I just,
I know, it's weird, right?
Yeah. They're all extremely annoying. They are like, when you think of like the over-the-top fangirl, every single one of them is that.
Unfortunately.
Except for the militant lesbians that somehow wound up gaming with my ex-roommate that won't let you use pronouns around them. They're a different stereotype.
Yeah, they've eliminated gender from that gaming group.
Yeah.
Like the PCU, the womenist.
Yeah. And it's so great because they're playing with somebody who is a complete asshat. And he likes to call himself a feminist, but he has no idea what that means. Like the last character he played, he was the escaped sex slave of an Amazon.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, please bring this up in conversation, how proud you were of this character, because I would love to see them rip that to shreds, because I was kind of offended. And if they're not offended by it, I will tell them why they should be. Just waiting.
Don't tell us how to be offended.
Yeah. So good.
Boy, I bet they're having fun with the news of the day lately.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
But I've learned today, Democrat doing it, it's okay. Republican doing it, it's the most horrible thing in the world.
It's an important distinction.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. We're gonna love that double standard there.
Yep. Your esteemed senator is, oh, it's fine.
Yep. And if it's someone who's a jerk, absolutely, they did it 100%. They should be kicked out of office, never put in Hollywood again. Totally found guilty. But if it's someone people like, well, he couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
If they make good movies or something. Yeah.
Well,
They couldn't have done that.
look at Bill Clinton. He's a slime ball, but he's got charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got away with everything.
Charisma, not always a dump stat.
It's too bad he didn't teach his wife. It's like, don't be like that, Hillary. You gotta be like me.
It's like, if people actually like you, you could get away with shit. On the other hand, if no one likes you, they will nail you for every little thing that you do.
She'd probably be a little bit better if she let people nail her.
Well, yeah, that might help too.
I'm sorry, we spent the whole game talking about prostitutes.
I know. I do.
There's a lot of prostitutes going on here.
I saw something kind of funny today. Someone asked Sarah Palin if she's ever been harassed in the job. She goes, well, most people know I'm packing, so no, they leave me alone.
Oh my God. As a person, like as an individual, I think Sarah Palin is hilarious.
That probably would be a deterrent to most people.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm unamused and I am armed.
You are not amused.
I'm confused, I'm angry, and I'm armed.
Love that line. I need to rewatch that series. It's been a while since I watched Firefly. But at some point, we can play Pandora's Fury Season 3 if we're interested in such things.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I should read you this text from John. That makes no sense.
Oh.
My ex-roommate cannot type. It's sad. I've shown them to Bryce. He's like,
Ironically enough,
I'm so sorry. That was I had to. Supposed to be rather over the holiday.
Roll versus death.
What?
Yeah,
What?
you died. You died while you were gone. That's unfortunate.
Death saving throw.
Oh man. Okay, so what did I miss? Die?
nothing actually.
Actually, we just abused ourselves while you were gone.
You don't have to try to be looked down upon by Mrs. Featherston.
I think we left off with Mrs. Featherston wondering exactly how much you'd imbibed.
Oh yes, he was struggling to try to come up with an answer.
I did. I think I said something very general, like
all of it.
A bit.
Some.
Fairly noticeable.
She looks unimpressed.
She always looks unimpressed. I can't read that expression.
Yes. Well, good night, Mrs. Featherston.
Good wait. I'd rather go to bed than have this conversation. Good night.
Good night, gentlemen.
I pause at the door and I look at the cage again. Then I look at her. Then I head into the room. His natural instinct is to, I don't think I feel comfortable with you being left alone with that, but I don't dare say such a ridiculous thing. I mean, so like, okay, she's British. Perhaps she can handle it.
Oh, I look forward to the battle between Featherstone and the creature. You sit down now.
Mrs. Featherston cast Scorn, level 4.
It's like, sir, I will not put up with what you shall try to attempt to put me up with.
Smacks it on the nose with a rolled up newspaper. I said,
yeah, the scorn will be enough to actually send it cowering back. Yes. All right.
Yeah, I think we're fine here.
We're good. We're good. All right. I bid my good night and go get some sleep. Sleep?
Yep.
Wait.
Did
you sleep last night? Not much. Did we sleep the night before?
Sort of.
I don't think there's much.
Not much.
I don't think we did.
you drank through most of the night and then left.
Well, it was more like I was driven from the house, really. To be perfectly honest. I had the intent of actually staying and going to sleep, but that wasn't an option. They're only servants. They don't feel pain the way we do.
So the question.
What?
The question is, does Lieutenant Fogwood wear one of those Ebenezer Scrooge hat caps when he goes to bed?
I think he should, but that's just me.
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. Like because the first time Hezekiah sees that, his reaction is, "What's on your head?"
It's my nightcap.
What's it for?
Sleeping.
Head warm.
Oh,
Don't they have these in America?
Men don't.
They should. Good night.
Yes, awkward conversations abound.
Keywording.
I go to sleep. Sleeps the way God intended it. Naked.
Very American.
Very American.
Can't wait till he gets up in the middle of the night to get some water. Miss Featherstone walks in.
Hey, at that point, that's her problem.
You're welcome.
Do I recover my strength with sleep?
Let's see. I think you recover with just rest. You'll recover 1 point of it.
What?
Good
Well,
enough,
it takes
yeah.
me forever to heal. Okay.
Well, you can in the morning you can also get get someone with some medical stuff to make a medical check, and if they succeed, then you can recover the other point.
Okay. Oh, cool. Dr. Hale likes me. Well,
So,
or more accurately, does not dislike me nearly as much as Dr. Cornwallis does.
Oh, I don't know. Give it time.
I know you mean that only in the nicest way possible, right? Right? Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah. So
We are sleeping.
yes, unless Mrs. Featherstone, unless you have something that you're doing here, I believe we can fast forward a bit.
We can fast forward.
Right.
At some point, she will totally go clean up the glasses and refill the scotch, and then put that back where it belongs.
Scotch.
Like,
So it is.
oh, it's like this much. He's got a finger's worth in the bottom. Some. A bit.
$1.
You say what you want.
So,
Oh, honey, she can't even smell the scotch on you.
so time advances. It is now morning.
Oh, right.
Whatever time people would like to wake up.
Oh, bright and early every morning.
Civilized people don't wake up before 9.
What? How do you get anything done?
You don't, because you have servants to do it for you.
Oh, please.
Barnaby is up early and in the lab with a cup of tea.
I make the service
With a cup of coffee.
already done before they show up.
Hezekiah, would you like to join me for some bangers and mash?
I'm not sure what that is, and I've been here for 1.5 years. Potatoes and what?
Potatoes and
Sausage.
Yes, please. And actually, I need to go see Dr. Hale first,
Okay.
and then I'll be along. I make my way to. Man, everything's in the lab. It makes me uncomfortable.
Probably would be having a breakfast anyway. So.
It's the only set we have, okay?
It's the only thing we can afford right now.
There's a lot of money on it, and we're going to use it, damn it.
We don't get the dining room until season 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
This
here's
is
hoping.
This is the BBC, you know.
Well, it's only 8 episodes. I mean, come on. All right. I go in and good morning, Dr. Cornwallis. Dr. Hale.
Good morning.
Dr. Hale, could you?
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go on.
No, I wouldn't want to interrupt you. Take care of what you. I'll talk to you after I talk to Dr. Hale.
Okay. I turn around to Dr. Hale. I have this. It's kind of. I think it's more of a bruise, but I don't think it's broken. But could you take a look at it? I'm like pointing to this section of my back. I can't really reach.
I can. Want to remove your shirt?
I go on ahead, remove my shirt.
Oh, she's checking it over.
All right. So we're going to bounce from one tab to the next here. All right. So healing roll is going to be a medicine roll. So you're going to roll. Ingenuity and medicine.
Yeah, 2d6.
I can't imagine her having much patience with a fainter.
8. Ingenuity.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Prudence, just wake up. Now.
12. Well, so let's see. That is success. 1 level is restored. You get 1 for the good night's rest. So yeah, you're able to get him patched up there. You know, kind of. He's not quite as the rest helped a bit there. You're gonna be sore, but you're able to treat his injuries, kind of bandage him up there a bit, and
do some stretching exercises here in a little
stretching. Be careful, kind of limit the mobility of an arm a little bit there. Not enough to be mechanical, mechanical effect, but just kind of there to
more fluids, and if you do it again, it's the
ace bandages, a little bit of liniment and whatnot there.
And maybe some leeches. Who knows?
And if it's unbearable, let me know, and I'll give you some.
Laudanum. Oh no. No laudanum for me. Only the marijuana. Thank you.
What's this marijuana you speak of?
Girls everywhere in America.
Heroin for everyone.
Opium. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Because at this point, marijuana was still legal, wasn't it? Yeah. So
I think so. We're
yeah, we didn't really go crazy until like the 1900s. So yeah, he
reefer madness.
has a nice box of the stuff that he occasionally tokes up from time to time when he's having really bad day.
The apothecary can compound it into pill form too. So if you don't really want to smoke it, you can just swallow it.
Where's the fun in that?
As you know.
You are ruining my fun again.
Just a suggestion.
And of course, Lieutenant Fogwood comes with his pipe. I say, what kind of tobacco is that?
Have some.
The wacky kind.
So,
Mash.
I suggest it be you smoke this at the end of your day as opposed to the beginning of your day.
Oh, it's like at nights. Tobacco to relax you.
Yes. You might also want to have something
Snack on.
to eat nearby. Just
They should invent something like a little chip.
And that's how Barnaby invented Doritos.
man. The food of marijuana smokers everywhere. Chips Ahoy cookies, man.
Doritos, cannabis cheese.
Candy.
So there is a bit of a commotion elsewhere in the complex. Not your patient. He hasn't woken up yet, but you can hear the servants are kind of raising their voice like, "Ma'am, I don't know how you got in here, but."
Oh gosh, what you could have snuck in. You easily just say. I walk over to the altercation.
Well, you see like the whatever one of the servants has stopped Jess, who of course is,
Actually, we brought her here last night.
Oh, apologies then. didn't kind of looks sideways, because that kind of sideways look, but the servant wants to say something, but of course can't because of its place in the world. Like, well, yes, of course.
So she will be. Jess, if you will come with me, we're having breakfast.
I will send one of the ladies to get her some appropriate attire.
That would be kind of you. I watch her twist over this for a little while. I don't help and I don't interrupt. Of course.
So yeah, it's kind of looks up and down, like, yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that squared away.
Yes, of course.
Servant kind of goes like, thanks. Yeah.
All right. So, Jess, if you could actually delay for just a little while they acquire something else for you to wear while they clean your existing clothing. I don't know what else to say here.
While they burn everything you brought in.
While they burn everything you brought in here. No.
And you need to be wearing something else before Mrs. Featherstone gets up, because otherwise the servants will be dressed down accordingly.
It'll be all black and gray. And sensible shoes.
So yeah,
it's the Featherstone protocol. Oh, we need that. The Featherstone protocol. Burning.
So just kind of, when in doubt, burn it all to the ground.
It's like,
You can always buy something better.
You can, or rebuild. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, just kind of smiles at you and goes back to her quarters there then to wait.
I asked one of the servants, after she has they dress whatever it is that you're going to do, could you please escort her down to breakfast?
Absolutely, sir. Yes.
And
Mr. James.
Yes, Dr. Cornwallis.
I could have a moment, your attention for a moment. I have something I'd like you to. I think it'd be beneficial for you.
Okay. I walk over.
I show the pistol. I show how it's loaded. I pull the base of the cartridge, pops out. I pull a little hypodermic and then close it. Say, if you could fire over there at the target, and I've actually crafted a monster-shaped kind of cork handout with various targets and stuff.
That is most lifelike.
Fire there. I take 2 steps back because I haven't tested them out.
Have you ever fired this before?
It's been tested. It's fine. You're good. I lied.
I know. I look at you and I let the knowledge that I know that you lied to me just now just kind of flow back and forth between us.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
perfectly
turn.
safe.
Of course. And then I turn. You realize if I survive and this hurts me, I will kill you, right?
Probably so.
Yeah, very well then. I fire.
Well,
I'm assuming my roll it.
Well, yeah. You rolled a 29, and like I said, you're not making a special gadget here. You're not like the gauntlets, which are actually this is a bit more standard or unorthodox in this time period. It's a bit more of a standard kind of a thing there. Although I do picture it not being a small hypodermic because it is 1880, so it's very kind of you're kind of your stereotypical steampunk-esque kind of. It's all brass fittings and some gears. It's got this huge kind of brass cartridge-looking thing that goes in there, and
you have to load the cartridge into the chamber by pulling back on this giant bolt on the side.
it's it's steam. It's kind of a steam powered kind of a thing. So there's like a huge.
Like,
So you can fire Dr. Hill's
curative?
curative design at the creatures from a distance.
That would have been remarkably helpful before. Yes, this is an excellent idea.
Well,
Thank you.
I know. And I have a rifle to get to to the lieutenant.
I'm certain I enjoy your instruction. I will go in.
Oh, I'm sure he already knows how to operate it. It'd be easy enough, simple enough for him. Walk out.
Dr. Cornwallis, you're
Oh.
you're aging dangerously close to not being subtle.
I was trying to be subtle.
And I am going to go get some food. Thank you for the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
My days of taking you seriously are coming to a middle.
Yes.
Coming into a middle.
So yes, I go and I finally eat something. Dr. Cornwallis has made you a sedation rifle.
Most peculiar. I must go check out this contraption.
It's based on this design, I suspect. You load the bolt here, insert the ammo here. Something that I don't completely understand happens here. Projectile flies out there. And it's pretty straightforward for the most part. Though he completely lied to me earlier. I'm thinking he doesn't like me.
Oh, I'm sure that's not true.
Of
You're a
course.
very likable person. I say in an unconvincing way.
Gosh darn it, people like you.
And this guy gives him a momentary brief stare. Ah, I get it. I see. I understand. Never mind. It's a London thing. I now understand. Right.
Have some bangers and mash.
I enjoy
Like-
smash. It's very good. Thank you.
All right. So
Going to the lab.
What?
Intrigued.
what'd you say?
Going to the lab because I'm intrigued.
So yeah, go to the lab, find our doctors there. An impressive looking rifle on the workbench.
Doctor?
Lieutenant Fogwood. I made this for you. I know that you prefer rifles, I believe, over the pistols.
Yes.
This will allow you to send the curative to the creature from a distance should you encounter them before. It's a pretty simple design. I have no doubt that you'll be able to figure it out.
I take it from one
Okay.
shoot at the target. Very nice.
Impressive, even more impressive.
Very good. Very good.
Well,
So,
carry on.
what?
Well, carry on, Doctor. Go on.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Dr. Hale, your patient in the cage seems to finally be stirring. Just a bit of a moan and kind of a.
Somebody's waking up. Have a look.
Yeah, he is most of the excess tissue has worked its way back into it, has been dealt with by the effects of your curative. So he's not fully back to himself, but he looks a lot more like a normal human than he did. He's got some weird, kind of flabby parts and whatnot. And so he's kind of like, eyes kind of flutter open, like, where am I?
It's not really important at the moment.
Now, see here, I'm someone of importance. You can't just imprison me like, wait, don't I know you?
Possible. Visited your office.
What was that?
We actually visited your office to look at a body not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. What? What? What is going on here?
Well, apparently you transformed into something that kind of terrorizing the city.
It kind of looks you confusedly and like, do what?
Well, we were hoping to get some answers from you. See what happened.
Kind of looks down. It's like, oh my god. That wasn't a dream?
Do you remember anything of what happened to you before coming here?
Well, I kind of think every time he shifts, he's clearly in pain because he was kind of beat up there and didn't have the benefit of healing there. But so, well, yeah, I was at work and there's that terrible business with that adventurer fellow, McNamara. You know the ones that you were interested in, and and I was there, and I got the feeling kind of ill. It was really kind of, you know how it is, must have gotten a whiff of something, terrible or something there. You know how such things are, and I was really pretty feeling under the really feeling kind of odd, so I decided that I would knock off early, get some rest. Clearly, I've been working too many hours, an important man such as myself, and then I got home and life was in bed with that horrible little Irishman.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how long that's been going on, but they were quite surprised to see me. I was quite surprised to see them, and of course, him being, Irish and whatnot, he of course immediately ran off. Just not built of the right timber. I don't know why she would debase herself in such a way. I take good care of her. And
Irishman, you say?
yeah, I have the accent, and wasn't exactly, didn't exactly, give him a quiz. I would have given him a thorough thrashing if he hadn't run so fast.
You get a good look at him?
Yeah, he was. Got to think for a bit. Well, it was. Got too good of a look at him, if you know what I mean. Given the position I found him in. Yeah, he was a little shorter than I was. Kind of pudgy. With the face of an Irishman. You know what I'm talking about.
Hair color red.
Yes. Yeah, you know how those sorts are. Had a weird little mark on his posterior. Got a good look at that before he went dashing out my window.
What sort of mark? Was it a birthmark or?
Yeah, it's a birthmark of some sort. Kind of a blotchy thing, but the size of my thumb. Stands out. You know how pale those sorts are. Kind of stands out. We had an argument, of course. As you might expect. Come home and find your wife in such a position. It kind of pauses to say, "Oh,
We need to go check your home."
So, wasn't it?" And he kind of stops talking.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty clear he's remembering things. It's hard to hide that, but he just like clams up. Like, I am tired. I don't know what's going on.
Did you injure your wife? I have no decorum, so I have no social skills.
Why would I do such a thing? So,
if you turned in the creature, it's presumed that you might have tried to injure or harmed her, possibly even killed her. Do we need to check on her safety?
Just kind of looking at you as kind of tight-lipped and.
I cast no judgment. If you were the creature, then obviously you're out of control. That's
all very crazy. No, but no, but creature business. Clearly, I must have just gotten drunk or something.
Not quite. What exactly happened after you argued with your wife?
Let's see here.
Gamma rays hidden.
I'm going to walk over to Mrs. Featherston.
Are you still asleep?
No, I've been sitting in the corner the whole time watching this. Why would I go to sleep? I sent everyone else to bed. There's a possible madman and monster in our basement. I'm not going to go and leave that unguarded. What's wrong with you?
Well, with your comment that nothing happens before 9, I just assumed you were
I am
asleep.
trying to educate you people. You are ignorant of Victorian life.
Well, you have to, okay, that's great. But when everyone's waking up from being asleep, it makes your game master think that you were sleeping in until civilized things going on.
No.
So
We will argue about this later. What is civilized, sir?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe do a better job of differentiating your in-character and out-of-character statements, then, there, Chief.
I'm gonna mute.
I have the ability to lock the bedroom door. Don't forget that.
Well, that bedroom door's been through a lot, clearly, from our predecessors here.
Yeah, it's been like stabbed. It's really weird and kind of creepy.
Kind of disturbing. If you examine the bedroom door closely, it's disturbing because there's like some definite kind of damage to the door. It's got a completely different doorknob than every other door in the house, and there's a patch on the wall where the doorknob comes to the wall. So, yeah, it would seem that some previous incarnation of tenants, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so apologies. I thought you were asleep. So
Nope, my bad. Nope, I've been here listening to this whole conversation.
Okay, well,
Soaking it in.
Soaking in it now.
I'm just going over to ask Miss Featherstone, do you think we should alert Hezekiah and Lieutenant to maybe check the coroner's home for possibly the body of the wife?
After we have his full statement.
Very well.
We need to know which crimes we can charge him with.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely biting his tongue hard. Who wants to try and pry this information out of him?
That's right. They don't do that whole innocent until proven guilty thing, did they?
Is he just like refusing to speak now?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, he's clammed.
Big on the social.
Clammed up. He's just like,
So Mrs. Featherstone will get up.
Uh-oh.
Put her tea down.
Oh no!
Oh, it's on.
Real.
It's on. The tea went
getting
down.
real. The tea has been put down. Oh, you done screwed up now, Dr. Murphy.
Dude, good luck with that.
Roll your superiority,
sir. I understand that having just awakened from this nightmare, you might be under the assumption that we are here to condemn you unfairly, but the good doctors here have done a great deal of testing on the condition you've recently found yourself in, and they are quite aware that it limits your capacity to think as a man and promotes your capacity to act as a beast. If you are quite honest with us about what you remember and what acts you may have taken in this form, we will, of course, take that into consideration. You are but a victim here, and we are trying to stop others from falling into that same spell.
Even when she's kind of
formidable.
Yeah, formidable.
Be the word, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is probably going to go very well, I'd imagine here. But so it's gonna be presence and convince. You're gonna get +2 for your voice of authority there. I think some leadership could come into play here as well. Let's do that. So I'm gonna throw a die on the ground because I can.
Because you can.
Was it not?
So yeah, so you're gonna roll roll 2d6 and add 14 to that. So
25.
Jesus. Even when I roll really good, it doesn't do me any good because then you roll like a 25. So he's kind of, trying to kind of stiff up her lip and just kind of, fight through it, not wanting to admit to anything or admit what he's done. But by the time you get to the end of your spiel, he kind of breaks down and, so I was like, oh my God. Like, what you're saying is true. I killed my wife. Then I'm pretty certain I hunted down that terrible Irishman and killed him too. I don't even know how I did that. I don't even know. I don't know what came over me. All of a sudden, I was just throwing her around like a rag doll. I'm not even that strong. I don't know. I'm just talking to lift weights or anything.
I think Mrs. Featherstone turns and kind of gestures to Cornwallis to go do as he suggested before and get the other gentleman to go investigate this.
I will hop to it.
So you're not sure how you managed to dispose of your wife?
I think I killed her with my bare hands. I don't. So it kind of sort of was like, am I the monster they've been talking about in the paper?
That seems doubtful.
But yeah.
This
Oh my god.
This occurred after you had examined McNamara's body?
Yeah. Yeah, I was fine. I started feeling ill. It was after you and that other odd fellow left.
What odd fellow?
Well, that
He's on me.
one that was very interested in the body doing those terrible things to it.
Yeah, me.
Now, when you examined the body, did you use any type of covering for your hands, or you didn't?
Well, no, I of course am completely professional with handling of bodies. I'm trained. There wasn't. I did well, come to think of it, I did he kind of looks at his hand and then kind of looks away from it because there's a lot of blood kind of stained on him, and so it's like I think I am purely by accident and whatnot. His ribs were pretty jagged. I think I cut my I did cut my finger on it during the initial investigation.
Approximately how long was it between that cut and when you began to feel ill?
I'll see. Well, I got around to examine the body. See, we'd had you over there in the morning. Finally, it's been about a day or so. We'd had the body for a bit, and of course, couldn't get to it right away, of course, but it wasn't going anywhere.
So you had the body for approximately 24 hours after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. It can be transmitted through cuts as well as injection.
What now?
Well, as I said, there has been extensive testing done to understand this condition. Dr. Hale, it may be prudent to examine our other guest.
Sure, I should do that. Why don't we give some food and drink? I'm sure he's probably very hungry.
Yes, I was very hungry. What? I was kind of looking down and say, when? I'm in pain. How horribly injured did I get?
It was fairly bad.
He kind of lays back. Oh my. Kind of, trying to step up for a little bit, but yes, definitely kind of breaking down a bit there.
Why don't you rest for a little bit? We'll get you some food and drink. And
he just kind of nods and just kind of.
Boy, we have a lot of strays in here today.
mm-hmm.
All brought back by us.
Nice collection.
Oh,
Boarding house.
that's right.
I think
Boarding house for wayward crime victims. So we will smash cut from there to Barnaby finding Hezekiah and Lieutenant Fogwood.
Are y'all still at the breakfast table?
Probably.
Yeah.
Why not?
English
The place to be is any.
Ah, perfect. Both of you in the same spot. This will save some time. Mrs. Featherstone would like you to go to the coroner's home. He is awoken and give a little bit of a story. Apparently, he killed his wife. We want to confirm that. And apparently the Irishman that she was having an affair with. So
Okay.
I think she'd like you to do it, immediately.
Where does the chap live?
I'm assuming I might have gotten the address at some point. I rattled off.
Yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
we've gotten his address there.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened there.
14 Main Street, just above Willow.
In Chelsea.
Yes.
It went pretty well for him there.
And no, I wasn't there for how he got infected. Okay, so I guess carry on.
Thank you for the message. And okay.
Yep, I'll return back to the lab.
Feel like another field trip, Lieutenant Fogwood?
I believe so.
All right.
I probably hand you a couple of actual hypodermics with the concoction in it.
Groovy.
Just in case.
Excellent. What could go wrong?
And there's an obligatory slow motion shot of us loading our guns.
Of course.
Yeah, be sure and arm yourself before you enter danger.
I will do my best.
Yes. What happened to that chap? Is there another one helping us?
Hard to say.
This is an odd one.
Perhaps he was sent off on a special mission.
They're not appearing in this movie.
All right, so you two springing into action then.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go check the place out.
We get our Victorian age Uber.
A horse buggy still in use by a certain segment of the population today.
So you guys make your way to Chelsea there. No high-speed buggy chases or anything like that.
It takes us 3 days to get there.
1 week later.
We're very irritated.
It's like this was a mistake. This was a terrible mistake.
No, halfway there, I'm like, let's go back.
Let's just say we didn't find anything, all right?
We have that dirigible. Ah.
It's like, well, there's no parking space here. We'll just have to rappel down like badasses.
It should be fine.
That's going to be great. So, yes, you guys make it to the good doctor's house.
Does the
What?
door open, closed?
It's a rather nice house from the outside. From the outside, it doesn't look like much has been disturbed just at first glance. But if you guys wanted to examine that and perhaps give me awareness and ingenuity roll.
Let's see.
Do we get anything for double sixes?
Sadly, no, dice don't explode. You just get the knowledge that you rolled as well as you can.
Awesome. Okay, so 12.
Feelings of accomplishment.
Yeah.
High five from the thumbs up.
It was nice. 19.
Very nice.
9.
9 total?
Awareness, I don't have any ingenuity, so.
What?
Oh.
You got 3 in awareness and 3 in ingenuity.
I'm like, how do you not have any ingenuity? It's an attribute.
Oh, 6. Oh, so that would be 12.
I'm like, if you got your ingenuity, we should talk because you're functionally retarded.
I'm not very inventive.
He's like, ooh, gun. You shoot yourself in the face with it constantly. It's not good. All right, so you're 12. You're looking at a rather nice house, and it looks like from the outside, nothing terribly exciting has occurred here. However, you're 19, Hezekiah. You notice that the door has been looks like it's been through a lot, and it has been kind of put back so that at first glance the house looks normal, but upon personal examination, it looks like this door has been much like when you kicked the door open at the flop house. It's like that kind of a thing, that the door has been kicked open and then put back.
Okay, so there's the wood, the door is damaged. It's just
it's got that level of damage to it and stuff, which is a bit more impressive than you hit the door in the flop house, because nice house, this is a substantial door.
So someone is going along to basically conceal what has happened. I open the door.
And because it is damaged, it is not locked. You would think it would be.
Did he employ any servants? Look around. Is there
you would think he would have in a house like this.
I'll walk in, looking as I go. There's an upstairs and downstairs, right?
Yeah, you got 2 floors. You got upstairs, downstairs. You kind of got your foyer entryway kind of a thing. To your left, you got kind of like a front room, sitting room, kind of a thing working there. To your right, kind of formal dining room, kitchen, probably somewhere in the back there. Upstairs, thinking there's bedrooms upstairs.
Okay. Lieutenant, are you comfortable with doing upstairs, downstairs at the same time?
Yes.
All right. You take upstairs, I'll take downstairs.
Okay.
I'm sorry, which one was going which again? I got distracted by heater in here.
Upstairs, I believe.
You what?
I'm going upstairs.
All right, so you're going upstairs, Hezekiah. You are downstairs. So we will start with upstairs. You get up there, and as you go up the stairs, you see that the stairs themselves are more beat up than you'd expect in a house like this. Like there's like actual like footsteps kind of hammered into the steps there, like something very powerful came, pounding down these stairs.
That's
you also notice a bloody handprint on one of the railings. More, well, it's hand shaped, but bigger than a hand, has any right to be, kind of a thing. Which, kind of fits with the description of, with what that thing looked like when it came in. As you go upstairs, you get to a landing, and you've got essentially 4 doors up here. One all the way to kind of like a hallway kind of thing. One all the way to the left, one all the way to the right, and kind of 2 on the wall in front of you there. The one on the left, at the far end of the left hallway, is also damaged.
I'm going to look into the first room I come across. I'm drawing a rifle too.
All right, so the first room we come across be one of the doors that you're facing. It appears to be a guest room. It is undisturbed. Does not appear to have been in use.
Go to the next room.
The next room would be the damaged door at the end of the hallway, unless you turn around and check the other rooms.
Now we'll go to the damaged door.
That door opens, and unlike, in stark contrast to the guest room, this is a very nice room, or at least it was at one point. Clearly the master bedroom here of this house. And it is thoroughly trashed. There's a dresser or what's left of one, the closet doors were mangled. There is an impressive amount of blood in here. And yeah, and kind of tossed in a corner, you see a body.
Is it a male or female?
Looks like female.
Nicely dressed.
In night clothes, it would look like. What's left of it?
I'm assuming that is the coroner's wife. I'm going to go back down to report my findings over to Hezekiah.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, downstairs, where do you start your search there?
I just do a systematic search, starting with the sitting room and then working my way through the house, through the lower level.
the sitting room has not been destroyed in terms of like someone's ransacked it or looted it or had some kind of massive struggle in here. You do see some signs of some kind of physical altercation that happened in this room. Nothing that indicates some gruesome, horrible death or anything like that. This looks far more standard in terms of some kind of a fight. You got there's a table kind of knocked over and the couch is askew, that kind of a thing.
Okay. All right. If I don't see anything of note in here beyond the evidence of a struggle, anything on the floor, I guess?
Let's see. On the floor, yeah. You find a pair of pants on the floor. Clearly, they do not belong to anyone that would actually live here.
Okay.
They're clearly the pants of a workman or someone who works for a living, kind of a thing.
Okay, I put those back down again. All right. I continue through the rest of the house similarly. Checking room to room.
Going room to room, you find yourself in the kitchen. It looks like a meal had been prepared and didn't look like it was eaten at all. You see candles, like someone had tried to make some kind of romantic gesture perhaps in the dining room, but that didn't seem to there's no indication that anyone came to collect the candles, so they kind of burned down a bit. You do notice that in addition to the candles kind of burning down, there's also evidence of an altercation happening in the dining room.
Interesting. Okay. I presume I'm not finding another pair of pants. Perhaps boots and a shirt.
You haven't found pants or boots, but you do find what you find on the floor is broken glass, not like window glass, but like the kind of there was once like plates and glassware, and stuff thrown.
Okay. Is there any way, can I kind of map out like where the altercation probably started from and then worked its way to
Yeah, I would say you could do that. It looks once you get everything there, you're looking at almost it's almost like there was a kind of a chase that happened in this house. Like someone was running through this house being chased by someone else. And it looks like it kind of started in the sitting room, kind of moved through the kitchen. Clearly, given the scattering of shards of plate and whatnot, someone was throwing whatever they could find at someone else there, because it's not like it was like an exchange, like you'd find it on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, someone was like on one side of the table throwing at another person, kind of almost like on the other side of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of culminating in there is a window kind of in like in the front room where you find that it looks like someone has gone through this window.
I look out the window.
You look out the window and you see a couple of interesting things in the kind of the soft soil there. You see boot prints that kind of land out this window and head towards the street. But then, kind of following along behind it, and they look a bit newer. You see incredibly large footprints that are clearly not from a normal human. Could very well be from a creature that actually kind of almost follow the boot prints towards the street.
All right. Well, quite the mess.
About that time, Fogwood, you come down from the upstairs.
I found the wife.
I believe I have found the pants of the Irishman.
Nothing else?
No, he made it out the window. If he is indeed our victim, then he was followed all the way to the place where he was murdered. I am curious. I will follow the tracks a little bit outside, but it's unfortunate. Which makes me wonder then, he actually had the other body at his morgue or wherever it is that he preps his body, I presume it's the morgue. But someone went through the trouble of actually concealing this. And who is that? Okay, well, follow this, I guess, follow the tracks as far as we can outside, and then if it seems to be corroborating the existing scenario, we'll take that back to Mrs. Featherston.
Yes. A disturbing thought, if these poor unfortunate beings can be changed back by this chemistry that our scientists came up. I wonder if someone's come up with chemistry to put them in this state.
This doesn't look anything even remotely natural.
And why would they do that?
It's more of a wonder why. Usually it's for the same, well, it's always for the same reasons: power, money. With love and hate thrown in to keep it interesting. I guess it's just a question of what we're dealing with here. If we, Bryce, we follow the tracks outside as far as we can.
They weave around a bit because it doesn't actually go all the way to the street. It kind of goes towards the street. Then it looks like he kind of changed. The boot prints kind of changed their mind. It kind of turned back to kind of run down the alley and stuff. And then, but it's weird, like the boot prints are clearly kind of made by someone who was running.
Right. It's like suddenly his boots realize, like, shit, I have no pants.
Exactly. I can't be out on the road like this, and especially in this neighborhood, because I don't belong here, and then I'm in my underwear. So it's like, it kind of looks like he's kind of, just kind of going to go down between the houses and try and weave around and stay away, see that stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly made by someone who was, running.
Right.
The larger print follow this trail. Not unlike someone who is tracking someone would do, and moves far more methodically than someone who is running. The creature was in no hurry.
Ah, okay. Well, Okay, and does this seem to basically be taking us to the murder site, to the place of the murder?
Yes. If you kept going in this general direction, you're going to end up in that neighborhood eventually.
All right. Hey, do you want to check out the hospital and the morgue?
Yes.
Since we're kind of in that area anyway. Which one is closer, morgue or hospital?
Let's see. The hospital is going to be closer to where you are right now.
Okay. All right. Again, I defer to Lieutenant Fogwood, given that apparently if I start talking, British people get irritable.
All right. Was the morgue closer? Or
The hospital was closer to where you were.
I go into the front door of the hospital. I'm thinking this time they don't have an emergency exit or.
Yeah, we're kind of a ways from emergency departments and whatnot. I think or traditional emergency departments anyway.
I go up to the receptionist. Good day.
Yes. How may I help you?
I am Lieutenant Fogwood.
Indeed.
For an organization called Torchwood.
Very nice. Can't say that I've heard of you.
It's a new organization the Queen herself has organized.
Oh, well, that's right. Proper. We don't get many visitors from the Crown here.
We're wondering if anyone has come in here with severe bleeding injuries. Missing his pants.
Pretty specific.
So she kind of looks kind of quizzically at you. It's like,
An Irish gentleman. I know that's an oxymoron, but.
Oh my, look at her roll so well. She kind of stops, just kind of thinks. It's like, well, now that you mentioned it, I don't think we had any actual patients come in like that. But I did when I was at shift change. Overheard some of the night people talking about rather unusual thing happening on the overnight shift. A couple of police officers brought in a body that was pretty badly mangled. So it was all very hush hush, though. I hope I'm not getting in trouble by saying anything about it. I don't want to get sideways with the law and whatnot there, but came in waving their with their badges and just said they needed to store the body here for a bit.
Did they mention their names, or did the night people have any names of these officers?
Let's see. Yeah, she rolled really well, so she's really remembering these things because it's kind of a unique thing to remember. I believe that one of them was Anderson, Andreessen. No, wait, no. Alexander, I think it was what it was.
What were their names? The cops.
They were Officers James and Alexander.
Officer James or Officer Alexander, maybe?
Alexander rings a bell. I think that's what they were talking about. They said, oh, one of those things. They said they sounded familiar for some reason, but they just couldn't quite place it.
Where did they want to store this body?
Well, we've got some storage in the basement before we've got storage in the basement where we keep the recently deceased before they move on to move on for getting examined, or if there's no need for an examination that have natural causes and whatnot before they go on to the funeral home and whatnot. Sometimes that doesn't happen right away, so we've got some storage facilities in the basement. I'd imagine they would put them there. I can't think of any place else you'd put them. You would very well just put them in a supply closet or something like that. That'd be right improper. Health and safety.
Well,
though it is not uncommon for the doctors, the physicians, to steal bodies for use in experimentation and education.
Perhaps, but we don't do that kind of thing at this hospital.
It never happens any place.
No, of course not. No, we are all above board.
Well, we're going to have a look around in that basement if you do not mind.
Oh, that's always looking to see any reason why, and those that are down there aren't going to object. Queen and whatnot, and Queen and country.
Very good. Thank you for your time.
Or a non-Frankenstein hospital. Frankensteining not covered by our insurance plan. Thanks, Obama.
Worst part is somebody not too far away from you said that and really meant it.
Really meant it. Really, really meant it.
My water tastes weird. Thanks, Obama.
All right, so you guys are heading for the totally not creepy basement of this hospital, so don't worry about it.
No, nothing
possibly bad could happen here.
Nothing bad could happen at all.
I'm in a hospital. What could happen?
What could possibly happen?
It's a place of healing. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. This is Victorian age. You didn't go to the hospital unless you had no choice.
Healing in quotation marks.
Like, place of healing. You mean place where you go to die? Painfully.
More likely to catch something at the hospital than you would out everywhere else.
Virtual certainty, no less.
Well, like you said in the movie Hot Shots, what could go wrong? I'm in a fighter jet.
All right, so we smash cut to back to Torchwood. Torchwood.
Where they're discussing, we really should have a way to get to the street where no one can see us.
Right. You have a perception filter or something.
Yeah.
Should get one of those. Get on that real quick.
Dr. Cornwallis will have one in about 20 minutes.
Only if he's being forced to go to bed without dinner first.
Right. Complicated combination of mirrors and a scent.
Yeah.
Discourage people from looking this way. Actually, in this era, all we need to do is line it up with a bunch of unwanted homeless people in front of the pavement, and everyone would go to the other side of the street.
No. Or lepers. Lepers always work.
There you go.
Yeah. Lepers a bit more contagious than homeless people. The homelessness. So
see, yeah, it's a perception filter.
Sadly, Barnaby is killed by the ghost of the cow he murdered. Really unfortunate that just happened. Bummer. If only someone was in charge of fighting the supernatural, but that's not us.
We hear a ghostly moo, and then a brick falls on his head.
So yes, we smash cut to Torchwood, where the coroner is kind of inconsolable there a little bit, as he's kind of remembering what's going on. Have not heard back from your field agent as yet.
Well, it should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
They've got weapons. They're fine. They're resourceful.
You want to participate? You need to come over here.
So mean.
Very well fitting. If you want to play, you want to come over here.
Not lay on the sofa.
I'm not laying on the sofa.
You're laying on the sofa.
Well, it's about time for us to wrap up here. Anyway, it's 11. We've been playing for a bit. Just pretty much anything you guys are working on or doing or.
I mean, I don't know that I need to do it. I'm working on the gauntlets to revise them and kind of fix them up and stuff like that. Not trying to re-roll it, but you know, since they're complaining about the straps, I'll lessen some of the straps. And
We got straps.
I know it was totally Bob's bad roll, but you know, I'm refining it.
And we're all like, hey, look, there are fewer straps. This will be so much easier now.
Probably just slip on.
I've now labeled a few of the buckles for future use, so they'll know not to worry about it.
Upgrade here and whatnot.
Then they'll be like, hey, these self-tighten. It's like all I have to do is slip my hands in and they just tighten right up. It's weird.
I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Created this material called elastic.
You know, this is like one of those features that they have for like prisoners and stuff, but they wouldn't actually give it to us. He hates us.
No
No.
He just hates.
So yeah, I think it's at 11 here. I think we'll call it right there.
Call it quits.
Call it
We're
quits.
getting into a horrifying, terrifying, potentially deadly situation. It's fine. See you in time.
Yeah, it's a good place to cliffhanger around and whatnot there.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone.